What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the film room. It's been a minute since we've done one of these, but today I was playing some salary cap and it just was a perfect opportunity to break down some film and talk about it. Man, we've all been there this year. It's been worse than ever. The backdoor cut spam, stuff like that. So we're going to talk about how we reacted to it at first, how we made adjustments and ultimately dealt with the situation. Maybe that'll help you guys and just... Guys, stop doing this, man. Come on. Let's play some basketball out here. It's NBA2K. It's, it's a basketball game. Play some basketball. But let's get into it, man. We're going to go through some of the plays. So first possession of the game, immediately he goes to a 5-out situation here. I'm playing on ball, and we see the backdoor cut. Dennis Rodman handles it pretty well, and immediately he just kind of goes right for it. And then at this point, first possession, I knew what I was in for. Now on the other end, wait, get some space, man. I actually want to take a look at this real quick. All right, so I want to take a look at this clip real quick. And as we see, he reaches there, right? So look at the space that Gary Payton has. So I'm going into the mid-range shot, and I guess my bad for not taking a fading three in the corner. But I take a mid-range shot here, and he's just able to kind of recover. Now he's in my vicinity for sure, but there's airspace there. There's definitely line of sight to the ball, and it's a 93% contest. A 93% contest that definitely causes the slow down contested shot animation. So that's definitely one of my big pet peeves with this year's game and the way they designed the contest system after that season 1 patch. All right, so let's take a look at this one here. At this point, I've switched to kind of like playing off ball, which I don't like to do, but I know he's like relentlessly just gonna spam the backdoor cuts. He did it on the first 2-3 possessions. So here we are, possession number 4 for him. Now Dennis Rodman kind of let him go by, so that's definitely something I'd like to see addressed in the future. So I kind of help over, and then that leaves KD open. Get out for a contested shot. So I'll live with that, definitely. I'll live with that, even though that one, for some reason, that one's open. So these are the things I look for when I'm analyzing the contested shot viability. So right here, he's going into the gather, right? At this point, let's see where he actually starts the gather. Right there. So he's pretty much wide open at the very, very beginning of the gather. I'm closing out, user contested closeout. Now he's rising up. I'm in his space. He's got definitely, so I'm not terribly upset at this being an open shot. For one thing, it's KD. He's up in the air. I'm in the vicinity, but I'm not in the line of sight at all. I'm like at his like armpit basically. So he's got like 2 feet of clearance. I'm actually okay with that if that was consistent. You want to throw, 15% contest, something like that, something light that doesn't really impact the timing of the shot. I'm cool with that. So I'm actually okay with that being kind of an open contest. What doesn't make sense to me is why the Gary Payton one was a 93% contest. So at this point, I'm just like, I'm getting frustrated from just like a principle standpoint. That's kind of like one of the keys, I guess, is you can't let this get you like frustrated and get you out of your game. It's 10-5. I'm down 5. All this guy has done the entire game is spam those triangle cuts relentlessly. Just like that's the game plan. So honestly, at this point, I was already just like, why did I even turn on the game today? Why didn't I do something else with my time today? But let's take a look at how it affects my playstyle, at least initially. I'm in the motion freelance, but I'm not really running anything specific. If you look, I'm just kind of running aimlessly. That's a terrible pass, quick pass, not letting any motions develop. I call for the pick and roll, eventually kind of like get that, mistime that out of just like lack of focus due to frustration. Kind of reaching wildly. So like right now, like I'm not in a good headspace, and here I'm like, okay, let's make our first adjustment. Let's go to moderate off of tight. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Let me try to call some plays. Let's try to get in the flow of things a little bit, but I'm not patient with it. My actions aren't crisp. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick, because this is an action that I do pretty frequently, and typically it's a dribble handoff. In this case, I passed it to the corner, and then I immediately call for the screen, that corner screen and roll situation. So there I read the defense. If I have a decent shooter there, that might be like a fading mid-range or a 3-point shot or whatever. Then I'm seeing what's going on with Pau Gasol. And that little action, particularly when it's coming out of the dribble handoff, generates much better action than a screen and roll from a standstill. But in this case, I kind of have a lane. He kind of helps on the pick and roll. So really I had a lane there. If I just like go to the basket for a layup or a dunk, that's an easy bucket. But again, I'm rushing things. I'm kind of out of my headspace. And this is why looking at film is so important. And even here, he recovers late, right? So like now Gasol is like wide open. So that's a wide open jumper. But again, I'm rushing. So I instead do that little side hop shot, which gives him time to recover. And it ends up being a bad look. And all because I'm rushing and I'm kind of flustered by the type of style that my opponent is playing. On the other end, it's going to be the same thing. I'm not going to show all these clips because this was the entire first half. It was just this over and over and over again. And it really wasn't until the second half that I really got in a better headspace and I made some real adjustments. And I just really want to highlight on the offensive end, just kind of how disjointed I am. I'm just kind of running, just very spazzy, like trying to kind of get some pick and roll. But look at this shot. Look how terrible of a shot this is. I took an extra step again because I'm just a little too much on the turbo. So just a bad first half. And I'm down 9 right now. All right, so here I go into my offensive settings and I'm like, okay, if I'm going to play this game, let's get some freelances going. Let's actually play some basketball. So this is the first possession for me of the second half. And it's kind of important that I kind of changed my tone. And this bucket right here, for one, gave me a little bit of life and then just kind of set a different tone that, hey, we're not going to just like sit around and take really dumb shots. So off here, nice execution off of the inbound play. Corey Maggette gets a nice 3-point shot to go and back down to 10. And it's going to be more of the same. I get a lucky contest there. But again, that's bad, just bad defense. He spams it again and he gets his bucket. So something's got to change here. All right, so here, this is kind of like where I was like, you know what? I'm going to go zone. I don't play a lot of zone. I very, very rarely play zone defense. Zone defense, you almost have to play it off ball. Again, I typically don't like doing that, but I was like, you know what? If he's going to beat me shooting threes and passing the ball around, so be it. I'm just not letting this guy run to the rim every single time. So we get a stop right away, and then that leads to a fast break bucket. 17-25. All of a sudden, we're starting to cut into the lead a little bit. Now he kind of rushes it and gets a little backcourt violation. So we're making a little bit of progress here. On the other end, we're still in the Philly elbow freelance. Cut's not there for Corey Maggette. Flows. Nice little just quicker basketball actions that aren't just holding turbo, running around aimlessly. So we're starting to find our rhythm a little bit. Okay, and now we're forcing him to take some 3-point shots. So I'm already liking what I'm seeing here. Kind of lucky there. And Rodman. So at this point, Algo is probably helping me out a little bit, getting me on this little run. And hey, man, I'll take it. After that horrendous first half, I'll take it. And here we're forcing contested shots now. And on the other end, the defense leads to offensive 3-point shots. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-point game. So I'm trying to find where the defense is sagging. The zone is kind of dropping and collapsing. And then trying to get to those spots. So again, we force another 3-point miss. And on the other end, nice little just finesse layup by John Wall there. Little change of pace. So again, he's taking nothing but 3-point shots now. And he's missing them. We're contesting. And on the other end, that's leading to buckets. So let's break down the zone a little bit. Now, like I said, I don't play the zone a lot, so I'm not great with the rotations, but as this game is progressing, I'm kind of figuring out. I do make some mistakes here and there. So there, I'm switching over to Rodman because I kind of want to cover those two guys. I want to cover Durant and I want to cover the wing player. Kind of hesitated a little bit to see where he was passing, but I'm able to get back, and then Corey kind of slides up enough to bother Paul George. Now I'm in the zone, so I'm not worried about that drive. I'm gonna let him take care of that. Although he didn't rotate like he should have. Like I feel like at this point, Artis Gilmore should be stepping up. He's the center guy, so he should be stepping up at this point, and Latrell Sprewell should stay exactly where he is. But what happens is eventually I switched over, and Latrell is the one that like decides to come down. I'm waiting for him to like take a shot here, right? I'm like, okay, if he takes a shot, I'm close enough where I can contest it, block it, whatever. But Latrell comes down, and then I have to switch back and try to get out. So he gets a open look that he finally hits. Now, I'd still rather live with that than just spamming the backdoor cut every play, but some interesting things happen on that possession. Okay, so on the other end, so nice little cut, and then he goes in. How that wasn't a foul, like, we got to really look at this one. John Wall sending that little down screen for Latrell Sprewell. He's coming across. That could be a handoff. Should have been a handoff, really, but I pass it over there and then immediately call for the pick and roll myself. Now, probably this is mid-range. Just take the midi. But I'm like, yo, this lane is open. Look at the momentum of David Robinson. He's like trying to get out that way. So right now he's making that turn. So I'm going downhill. Robinson is still kind of, his momentum is still like shifting. So I'm like, okay, like this should be an easy dunk. I go up, just get body. Enough body to change my layup, right? So that just ends up being a 100% contested shot, which it is 100% contested, but it was also a foul. But anyway, let's move on from that. All right, so this possession, Getty switching over to Gilmore, and then Wall just kind of makes a nice little read there. Take a look at it. So he's just being a little disruptive. I'm kind of daring him to like just go right down the middle, right? But he's like, nope, I'm not gonna take that. I'm gonna run right into the defender, right towards John Wall instead of going down the middle or making a pass or something. So Wall, miraculously, Wall doesn't morph through my torso, and he just gets a pluck. Maybe it's because of the AI. If it was me, it probably would have gone through my whole torso. But so that goes the other way. We ended up not getting a bucket from it, but still a nice play, being more disruptive. All right, so here we got some more execution out of the sideline out of bounds play. Just be patient, let the screen materialize and hit the open shots. Getting down to crunch time now. 11 points to the target score. We give up a way too open shot to Kevin Durant. But that's okay. We've completely forced him to change his play style from the first half. So I'm okay. I mean, people are gonna hit shots, right? Kind of a bad possession. And during this stretch when Kenyon Martin came in at the 4 position, it was not going well. So that lineup didn't stick too long. But again, we just see like the difference. He's still kind of in a 5-out and he's still trying to like spam, but the zone is kind of doing what it's supposed to do. So he's having to settle for these contested 3-point shots. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful. This game is such a great example of how like making those adjustments and kind of understanding how you want to take away certain things makes such a huge difference. Because these two halves are just night and day from what they were. Right, so on this possession, he gets wide open because I didn't pass him along. So my mistake. Should have passed him along to Corey McGiddy and cover check myself. That's what it is. On the other end, in with space. So the move, Corey McGiddy with the nice dunk there. Okay, so there I do a better job of passing him off, and that just kind of makes things work. Corey gets the foul, but that's okay. Causing havoc. I don't mind making it an ugly game, getting a couple foul calls. So there he kind of rushes that shot. He's like, oh my God, I'm kind of open. Let me rush it. So again, I've just disrupted his whole game plan. I think I was running some triangle here, which wasn't flowing well against this team, but pick. And actually, I meant to call the screen with Corey McGiddy there. I got my icons mixed up. So here I go right back to the Philly elbow. I noticed the triangle was not flowing well. That'll happen sometimes. The triangle is kind of a weird little niche type of freelance at this point. So back to the Philly elbow, that gives me more spacing, some better cuts. So I'm doing a much better job of passing along, getting used to the zone that I'm not used to playing as I give up an open look, but I'm doing a better job of kind of passing along the sideline out of bounds play. Another great look for Corey McGiddy that I miss, but man, I'll take that look any day. Defensive end, I realize I'm in the bad position, so I get all the way back, and I only was able to make that recovery because I realized, yo, this is Corey McGiddy. He should be on the other side of the floor. Let me get back. So I almost just kind of like left the man that had the ball. I mean, that honestly could have been a foul, but hey, I'll take it. And on the other end, just Corey, man. Look at Corey. Look at the muscles, man. Sheesh. Big play, man. Inching towards that 44-point target score. So it's kind of interesting. I want to highlight that. All right, so this is kind of interesting. I want to touch on this a little bit. let's kind of go through it slow-mo. So I'm kind of like shading over with Corey, making sure he doesn't get right down the middle for the mid-range shot, particularly because Kevin Durant's still not in he's not in the shot, you know, he's lagging. He was the inbounder. So right here, I just kind of do just like a little touch and then get back. You see me kind of going back that way already, right before he makes the pass. And that just lets me get back in position. So I'm kind of like playing the zone more with the zone, like a zone mentality, as obvious as that sounds. But when you're used to playing man-to-man defense all the time, you're used to staying with that defender. So I'm getting much better as the game progresses at passing off my guys into like the zone. So there I switch, and I'm kind of covering two here, right? Gary sagged way down further than he should for whatever reason. And again, icons are up. Switch over to Corey Maggette. Again, just pass him on. I'm not following him there. Right there, I'm switching over to Dennis Rodman. So I'm looking to cover that pass to David Robinson. That allows Corey to kind of like get back. And I don't know why he sagged there. Like right here, the ball is contained and Corey shouldn't be turning around. But hey, same thing with Latrell Sprewell. Like Pau Gasol is there. Pau's there, man. Like Latrell doesn't need to come down. He should stay in his corner, in his zone where he's supposed to. The whole zone is like collapsing at this point, really. That's not good. And that leads to a open jumper for Paul George. And again, something that shouldn't have happened. That's literally just Latrell just sagging and collapsing for no reason. Nice open shot for Corey though. Corey with 18 points, man. Getting us one bucket away from a very nice little comeback victory. And again, that's open shot, not great. Let's see what happened. All right, so on this play, Peyton is kind of driving down. I'm controlling Sprewell, and I'm kind of doing that to try to play two, right? Because Peyton really should be handing off the other Peyton to Pau Gasol at this point. Like he shouldn't really stick to that. Like there should be a cleaner handoff there. So okay, so this is what's going on. So here I probably should have stayed with Paul George and then gone out to the recovery. But I was like, okay, I'm here. He's kind of stuck. He's gonna make a pass. He's probably gonna pass to the open guy, but I went a little too soon. What probably helped is that he got a little bump here. Let's take a look at this real quick. So he probably tried to pass the ball like around here and got that little bump. That doesn't let you pass. So I just kind of delayed it enough to where I jumped to Chet. That leaves Paul George open. I try to recover, but that is a wide open shot. Like that, there's no way there should be a contest on this. All right, so here we go. We have game point, and I'm gonna call a play to try to get a good look. One of my go-tos, LA quick 3-pin mid. Now I know in this play, I'm gonna pass it down to Dennis Rodman, power forward, and Corey Maggette is getting a screen from Pau Gasol on the other end. Now when I make the pass, he's got space, man, but Paul George kind of recovers. And really what I should have done is led that pass more to the wing to make Paul George kind of go through Pau Gasol to get to Corey Maggette. But hey, that's okay. That's where it's designed for him to catch the ball. The full receiver control, you can alter that obviously. So that's not working. So now we're in scramble mode. Pass it over to Pau Gasol, kind of rush, get it to Gary Payton. Immediately call for a screen and roll. So again, getting these little screen and rolls out of some action, out of some motion, kind of an important concept to grasp. Now he's kind of in no man's land. David Robinson knows if he steps out, because the screen connected so well, he's kind of caught. If he steps out on Gary Payton, that's an easy dump to Pau Gasol for the game-winning bucket. So he's got to kind of live with that mid-range shot, and we were able to knock it down. Game, set, match. A really, really impressive comeback. Just because of the fact that I was so mentally frustrated. It was really one of those things where I just played a terrible, terrible first half. He was getting exactly what he wanted to do. At the halftime point, he kind of switched everything up. We went into the zone. We kind of made him. My whole mentality was like, yo, if you're going to move the ball and find the gaps in the zone and beat me like that, actually playing some basketball, hey, I tip my cap. But I'm not going to let you just spam the mechanic over and over again. So this was a good example, man. I hope you guys got something from it. Gonna see here in the first half, man, it was bad, man. It was bad. Every single bucket came from a dunk right at the rim. There was one missed 3-point shot taken. And then in the second half, look at those 3-point attempts. 2 dunks in the second half, man. Just 2 dunks the entire second half. Completely changed the whole way that I forced him to play, forced him to try to beat me. And then Corey Maggette just had a crazy second half too. So shout out to Corey Maggette. Again, looking at the team comparisons, he ended up shooting 25% from 3-point land. The first half was 20 points in the paint to 7. It was a bad half. And then second half, 4 points in the paint, 4 for 15 from 3-point land. All right, so that wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I learned just as much from these things as you do. So if you want to see more of these things, hit that like, do all that stuff. We'll see if we get back on this YouTube grind. But this is Project Elevate. Until next time, elevate your grind, game yourselves, and each other. Peace.